Calvin Austin is here in studio. He is getting ready for the NFL draft. He had his pro day yesterday at the University of Memphis. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I didn't know how I'd react when you walked in. Obviously, I faced cruel defeat when I challenged you to a walking race in the season, and you defeated me while wearing slides. But honestly, I don't feel nearly that bad given your level of success at the Senior Bowl, the Combine. I mean, I'm the one that can sit there and say, I know, guys. I know.
You felt
I felt
right beside.
I felt the speed in person. All right, let's go back. So, end of the season, you're not going to go to the Hawaii Bowl, which we were just talking at the break. Yeah. I said you should have gone. They didn't end up playing the thing anyway.
Right,
you could have gotten a vacation out of that.
Free vacation out of
right. But then it's focus on draft time. So take me from when the season ends and then how you start thinking about planning out this offseason.
So when the season ended, a lot of it was just getting my body back together, my ankle healed up and things like that.
How bad was it?
It was pretty tough. It was pretty bad. I said it was like a complete tear of my ankle. So like I was just, each week getting some good treatment during the week, and like I guess as the week went on, that Thursday and Friday is when I would like try to do a little like movement stuff, and then on game day I would just get it wrapped up and stuff and give it a go.
What game was it? What game was it that your ankle got hurt?
Temple game. Whenever Temple was, and then it happened again versus, I want to say, SMU. So,
SMU?
Yeah, so Temple was the first one, and SMU was the second.
Temple was October 2nd.
Yeah, early. It was at like the fourth or fifth? No, the fifth game, I want to say. Probably.
Yeah.
The fifth game, yeah.
Fifth game of the season?
So it was pretty early.
And that's when it first got hurt?
First one.
It bothered you the rest of the time?
Rest of the time.
Damn.
So I'm about to say, like it was, a lot of guys would have probably sat out, obviously, and stuff, obviously with stuff and looking ahead and things like that. But I wanted to be the one to play, the one to be there with my teammates and play if I was able to, do any type of running and stuff like that. So like after the season, that was one of my main focuses, just getting that back healthy and healed up. And then it was like basically deciding on the agent and then where I'm going to train and things of that sort. So after I finalized all that toward the end of December, then January 2nd or January 3rd, I was headed off to Frisco, Texas to train.
Frisco, Texas?
Frisco, Texas.
That's where you've been? Yeah. Now, where are you training?
It's a place called EXOS. Brent Calloway is one of the coaches there. He's a guru at what he does. And that's where Antonio Gibson and Patrick Taylor actually trained as well. So like when I came in, they were obviously like, oh, you're from Memphis, so you know AG and PT and all those guys. So.
And what kind of stuff are you doing there?
Everything.
Is it speed stuff? Is it weight stuff? I mean, obviously, look, I saw your pictures from the Combine. You look like you put on some muscle.
Okay. Just making sure. Yeah, look a little swole. Okay, just making sure I did. But so there, that's what's like the biggest like benefit of training there is like you get everything. It's speed training, lateral movement work. You get the weights. You get a meal plan, massages, PT, body comp each week. And so like it's definitely very hands-on to a point to where like you just get into like a cycle of like 6 days a week, you know what you're doing.
And you just like have an apartment or something?
Yeah, so I actually had an apartment in Frisco with one of the guys. His name is Pierre Strong. He's a running back from South Dakota State. He would think he had the fastest running back time at the Combine, 40. So like me and him, we were roommates, had an apartment. And so we were just living it up in Frisco, working.
Was it fun?
It was fun. Frisco, a lot of people were telling me they were just like had just started to build up that Frisco area. So you can tell it's like a lot of things are relatively new. And just like that whole area is like a bunch of food spots, but it's like very spread out. So it was definitely a different feel from Memphis. So it was nice.
All right. And so then the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
All right, and this is a big breakout for you. And they got you doing all manner of things. Not only running routes against people, they try to make you block the biggest guy. That clip was going around everywhere.
Yeah.
And so when you're getting the guidance there, what are they saying to you? Because obviously you had a breakout at the Senior Bowl, and a lot of people started talking about you there. But in terms of how they view you on the NFL level, what they expected of you on the NFL level, you're getting all that kind of feedback there. And what was it?
A lot of it was just them wanting to see, obviously, how I compete against some bigger corners and, you know, quote unquote tougher competition, you know, just from school names and stuff like that. But a big part of it was just, you know, at Memphis, I primarily play outside receiver. So, you know, in the NFL, a lot of teams probably see me as being able to play outside, but definitely in the slot. So one of the things there that they wanted to see was me play in the slot and do those, you know, short routes, getting in and out of my breaks and things like that. So that was one of the main things when I went there that I wanted to do, was show that, yeah, even though I did play outside, I can go inside and run the whip routes, jerk routes, do all that stuff. And so that's what was the main thing they were saying, was like, I kind of, you know, check those boxes off and showed that I can play inside and outside, no matter against who.
Was that a big adjustment for you?
It wasn't a big adjustment, but it was definitely some new like route concepts that I hadn't just like worked on as much, just because I just was never just primarily in the slot. So it was a little adjustment, but like I said, like I kind of can pick up football and plays and stuff like that very quick. So it just took a little learning, a little taking a couple reps, but it was a smooth transition, I'd say.
It felt like you played so well that your size, like, it's almost like you did away with that. It's like the first thing people would say as a knock, and then you just didn't hear it anymore.
Yeah, and it's funny because like they'll say that as like a knock, but then like they'll come right back and say like, oh, your size, but you play bigger than what you are. Like that's the main thing that I've always like heard, is that they're like, you wouldn't even be able to tell that this guy is this size or whatever, because you play bigger than what you are. So like that's just because I guess when I get on the field, like and especially I feel like being at Memphis prepared me a lot for that too, because like you wouldn't have no 5'8" guy outside usually in the offense running in the boundary, on the line of scrimmage, running back shoulders and fades, but at Memphis, that was something that we did. And so, like, that's something that in another offense, I probably wouldn't have been able to show that I can do. Mm-hmm. So I would be labeled and, oh, he's only a slot guy. But, being able to show that shows the scouts that, this guy isn't just a guy that can only run screens or can only run go routes. He can go across the middle, catch those back shoulders, all of that.
What was the combine like?
The combine was a great experience, but it was long. It was definitely long and tiring, I would say that. But it was kind of just like, I would say one of the main things was just like walking into the stadium was like, it was crazy, because like you can see basically like all the teams in their little booth, all the scouts, they're all right there. You can look up and see them. But it's like, and then I think they said this one of the first years they allowed fans, but like even when like the tight ends were finishing their 40s, like they'll finish and like it's just dead quiet. Like you hear nothing. So it's just like once you get in there, it's just like a crazy feeling, because go to sporting events and it's like no cheering. So that's why like after I had ran my 40, like I crossed the finish line and I hear like applause. So I'm like, hold on, like I had to just run something that was somewhat good, you know what I'm saying? Because there was no clapping for anything. There may have been like, I know it's a couple times the tight ends would make a catch or two, and you may hear some applause, but like when I got done, I was like, yeah, I had to run something that was pretty fast, because they like were cheering loud. So but being at Indy, that whole experience was great.
So I got to ask you about the 40 thing. My son sent me a TikTok. Have you seen that TikTok that was going around?
I have seen the TikTok.
And said that your time that they reported is not the time, that you ran faster than what that, because they lined up the video and they said the guy actually ran faster than what was on the screen and what they talked about on the NFL Network or what they reported as the official time. You've seen that TikTok.
I've seen that.
What you think?
It's crazy because obviously, like when you pause and stuff, it does say exactly that. It's faster, but it's just like I don't know. It was kind of crazy because a lot of guys with the TV time, it was just off. Like it would either be like they'll come back and have an official time that's something totally different, but with my time, it was like it showed 4:32 on the TV and it came out the same. So I was like, I think I was one of the only ones who time like didn't change. But
what's the fastest you've ever run it? So well, look, because the TikTok thing says that you ran like a 4:15 or something, 4:0. Yeah. Did he actually ran faster than that? What is the fastest that anyone's ever hit a stopwatch on it?
A stopwatch? I've ran 4:2 stopwatch before. Like I ran 4:2 stopwatch, and some of the scouts even like had said they clocked me at 4:2 on their stopwatch. So, and that's why I say like the TV time is cool and all, but one of the main things is the scouts usually go off their own time a lot of times.
They said they had you at 4. Some of them had you at 4:2.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, look, I'm not tripping about. Yeah, I said I'm not tripping about that time at all. So I'm like, yeah, it can show 4:3, but as long as the teams know, I'm good with that.
How many interviews did you have to do?
So you have like formal and informal interviews. I had about like 3 or 4 formal interviews, and then like for informal, I probably met with like between like 15 and 20 teams. And so that's why like I was telling Dev on the way up here, like each day was like long. Like you're getting up at 6, 7, and it's different things you gotta do, different medical stuff, and then at the end it's like it's interviews from like 7 to 11.
Jeez.
So it's like you get back to your room pretty late, and so that was one of the main parts about it. I think they're trying to really see, can you balance that and still come out and perform at a high level, because if you can, that's showing that you're like a true pro. So I had a whole lot of interviews, and that's one of the main things that is like I feel like was one of my advantages, is being able to go in front of a team and talk and show them who I am and how much I know about football.
Did they do the goofy question thing?
They actually didn't, and that's what a lot of people ask me. But our coach at EXOS, Brent, was telling us that they had passed a new new rule or policy or something, saying that like they like kind of limited. They had to like tell teams that they can't.
They can't ask you
like questions. About like.
But like the whole like, would you rather be a dog or a cat kind of crap, and like all that kind of stuff.
They ain't hit me with them.
Yeah. No, so you didn't really, you never felt uncomfortable or like I don't know the answer to this type of stuff,
nah.
right?
Thankfully, I did.
What should I answer? Because I don't know I don't know what they want me to answer with something like that. Because you always hear those stories about guys like get in those interview rooms with them.
Stuff, yeah.
How about in terms of being around, like both at the Senior Bowl and at the Combine? Who was there, and whether it was somebody you competed against or somebody that you just watched that you were super impressed with?
There's a lot of guys, let me see. Valus Jones from Tennessee, the receiver. He was on my Senior Bowl team. He was in the same combine group. He's a great athlete. I'll say one of the main ones is probably Malik Willis.
Really? That's actually a good one because he's a quarterback.
Yeah, he was my Senior Bowl quarterback, and he was at the combine. So
you're a believer.
Oh yeah, I'm a big believer. And it's not even on the field stuff, because obviously you can tell he got an arm, he can run, do all that. But like off the field, he's a true quarterback. Like he a true leader. Like he's somebody that like receivers and other like O-line like you want to play for.
Oh,
and
really?
So like that's a trait that you can't really tell or like coach or that necessarily or like really know, but like I'm here to say that like he's a guy that
charisma,
you want to go out there on Saturdays, Sundays and play with him, he's one of those guys that I'm a true believer.
And he threw it to you.
He did.
So
and he put it out there too. So that's why I said I think we got that good. We had that chemistry quick. But he was one of those guys. Even at the beginning, he's getting all the receivers together, saying, "Hey, I know we all knew. Let's work on this time and let's get it together so we can go out there and kill the defense." So he's one of those guys that
super fascinating, right?
Yeah.
Because that is exactly what and look. That had to have come through to NFL teams too.
Oh yeah,
that's a good tip, Calvin, because we could look up on draft day and he ends up going a lot higher than people think.
That's probably why.
And it would be because guys like you, I'm sure these teams ask you about other players too, right?
Yeah, definitely. They want to just because obviously players know players the best.
Yeah.
So getting an opinion or getting some some good. Having somebody say something good about you that's from another player that's really one of the biggest compliments you can get, because players aren't gonna lie, and if somebody isn't really that, you're not gonna give them that credit. So they definitely ask and want to get your opinion.
So I've got to ask you about a question that you were asked yesterday, because we almost Devin, I felt like Roser, we almost I thought we were gonna need to get the little cap gif to throw on Calvin in case.
Oh, no.
Did you hear what he was asked? That's if they said, we would have told you, Calvin, that you'd be standing here, maybe get a first round, second round pick, whatever, and he's like, I would have believed it, you know what I mean? I always believe in myself. Bro, stop. You didn't go, you played at Harding, and you weren't playing football, all right?
Yeah.
You were going to run track at Memphis, and he's like, they asked him yesterday, and he's just standing up there. He's like, I don't know why you're shocked. I believe in myself, and if you would have told me that I'd be here with a chance to be in the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft, I would have believed you, And I'm like,
good, though.
Oh, God, shut up, dude. I wish I would have been there, because I'd have been with a follow-up question. So when you were running track your freshman year without a football helmet or a scholarship, you thought, hey, it's totally reasonable that I could be a first or second round pick in the NFL draft.
Hey, I'm about to say, that is, if you just put it in that terms, it does sound crazy, doesn't it? It sounds crazy.
Put the cap on.
Put
the cap on me. Oh, man. Look.
Hey, look, it was his birthday yesterday, so we got to put a birthday cap on.
Happy birthday.
Birthday cap on.
Jordan year 23.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, no,
there we go. We got the birthday.
There we go.
But when you, in all honesty, did you think you were going to play football again when you were running track your freshman year at Memphis?
I knew I was going to, I've always, because I was trying to explain to people, how I was obviously dreamed of being in the NFL, and I was like, I'm gonna get to the NFL. That's my goal. But it's sometimes you need, if you don't have that stuff on your path that can really set you up so you can actually see it happening. I didn't have that at first. So I'm coming in, I'm like, okay, I'm coming in freshman, I can't really catch, I'm not running routes good, all of that stuff, but I'm in the back of my mind, I still have my ultimate dream and goal of going to the NFL. But then it's just different coaches in my life that came through, Coach Yak, Coach Simon, Coach Glidden, and those guys really helped my development and get to a point to where I'm I was dreaming about it, but now 2019, 2020, I'm starting to actually where I can see it, So then it just, I guess, like you said, if I told freshman year me when I believed it, probably wouldn't have truly believed it. I would have still
you had not given up on football.
No. Mm-mm. That was
thought you were still going to play.
Yeah, because I always, even when I got to Memphis, I was I'm a football player that can run track. Even though I started off from when I was younger, I would do track in the spring and summer, AAU, so I'm traveling, going to the Junior Olympics, doing all that stuff. So I would always do track, but I've always had a different love for football though.
But
Like
how did?
football.
All right, because you know what everybody always says with the Calvin Austin story. They say from walk on to possible NFL draft pick, right?
Yeah.
But and it's like he was on the track team, and Mike Norvell went over there and brought him in, and then I really don't know. Like, what is the real story of how you ended up on the football team?
So I ended up I got on a football team like coming out of high school, but it happened like this. So the track coach for Memphis, his name is Coach Mal Smith. He's actually at Purdue right now. During the spring of my senior year of high school, when I was running track, he started recruiting me for track at Memphis, like hard. Like, you know, he was like, whatever it takes, like, I'm not letting you get out the city. Like, you had your times and stuff are great. You can come on the team, and they had some guys on the team too. So that was like, we can put something special together. So I was like, you know, I want to come to Memphis, but like, I'm not coming to Memphis unless I can play football too. Like, regardless of what school I was going to, I was gonna have to play both. And so he was like, you know what, I'm gonna talk to the football coaches, and like I'll let you know what they say. And then like it was probably like a day or two later, he hit me up and was like, that they should be reaching out to you. And then one of our area recruiters, I think it was Coach Randolph, he was the D-line coach. He was like, we can offer you a preferred walk-on. That means you don't have to try out. You can start with the summer group, but you know, obviously, like, you wouldn't be on scholarship and stuff.
Now, are you getting a scholarship for track?
So it's a rule called that I found out about then, because I thought, you know, you could be on scholarship for track and just play. It's called the Bear Bryant rule, which is if you are playing football, the only sport you can get a scholarship in, if you play another sport, regardless of what sport that is football.
So because Bear Bryant was signing people up for
like, he'll sign a track guy like Santana Moss or something, who was actually you know, he's a football player, but he's fast, so he's gonna run track. But so
it
he's
gives you extra scholarships,
saving a scholarship.
Oh, I've never even known about this.
So they made so it's that rule. So I had to just walk on for both, even though I could have been getting a scholarship for track.
So you had to. So when you get there, you just walk on to the football team and walk on to the track team.
Walk on to both. So I started that summer with guys like TJ, Obina, OB, Tim Taylor, all the Marquavius Weaver, all those guys. Because at that time, that was the best class in best recruiting class in Memphis football history at the time. So I'm like, that was the opportunity for me. So like during summer conditioning and stuff, that's when I kind of try to make sure I'm at the front doing extra, just because I know that if I'm at the top of this class, and obviously it's a lot of hype with this class, so you know, coaches coming out there at our summer workouts, Norvell hands on with it, Coach Storm's leading in this, everything like that. So it's a big opportunity. It's like, it's tough. It's a big opportunity. So that's kind of when I would say I like solidified myself on the team, because like as a walk on, if you in the workouts like not finishing or last and stuff like that, like you won't be coming back the following season. Like when the summer's over, you're gonna be done. Like you're not coming back. So that was like, I felt like a time where I like to solidify myself on the team, and not just as a walk on, but as a guy that like, okay, this guy is he make it do a little something.
When did they put you on scholarship?
So 2019, after we played Houston. It was a game at Houston, so it was our Cotton Bowl year. That's when I got put on scholarship.
That's when they put you on.
That's when they put me on. So that was a big year,
huge year, right?
Yeah, facts.
And then now, as you fast forward, you've gone through. Yesterday we talked about the combine, we talked about the Senior Bowl. Pro day yesterday. You didn't run yesterday, right? You didn't run for a 40 time?
No, I didn't.
You figured the TikTok videos enough?
I figured the TikTok was enough hype, you know. I didn't want to cause any more controversy. I had to go and put the 40 down.
All right, how did the pro day go?
The pro day went great, you know. One of the main things that I wanted to do was what I was looking forward to was benching. and I hit 11 reps on bench, so that was something that I was happy with. And then
225.
225.
Shit.
Okay.
Like I said, I made the change my position.
I told you, bro,
I made
he's
the
gonna
change
lose some
my position to running back or something.
Yeah,
And then going out there catching routes, me and Snag caught the ball great, Grant threw it great, and then afterwards I had to catch punts, so that went well too. That was probably the most running I did in a minute though with the punts, because I would have to do right return, left return, middle return. I was doing a lot for that, but it was a good workout. That's what I would say for pro day. But it was good being back and like being with all the rest of my teammates and seeing them compete too.
It's a comfort level.
Big
All
time
right,
comfort
what teams
level.
have you heard from the most?
I can't get specific.
Come on.
I wish I could. I can't get specific yet, but
what
there's
divisions?
been a lot of
Do they play in
AFC
Dallas?
teams. Do they play in Dallas?
That's what I need.
Narrows the
Look,
list
you
down
don't
a
want to
little
go
bit.
there.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper's gone. TP's already there. Let's go. Come home.
That would sound like a perfect fit. But I've talked to a lot of AFC teams. That's as far as I would go.
It's the only thing anybody's done all offseason is AFC stuff. I swear, every
AFC
player.
making moves.
Unbelievable.
Making moves.
So you have heard from. How about this? How do I frame this? Do you think you know who will draft you?
No, I could say that I have. Probably like a couple teams that I could narrow the list down.
Has anybody, quote, promised you and said, if you're available at our pick, you're not getting past us?
Not a direct promise, but we really want you here. Something like that. So that's if I can say it like that, we really want. That's what I've been saying. So like that's one of the, just from talking to teams, like you always like hearing that, because and obviously draft night, you know how that is. Like it can, if another team gets a guy that the other team wanted, then that can like shift the whole board and all that stuff. So you can never really look too deep into the promises, but there have been plenty of teams that have been like if like we really love what you do and we really want you here.
Do they rhyme with the Yans and Yee the Eves?
They did just get rid of an incredibly fast
I
guy.
was about to say, and look, I feel like they need another one to come in. So hey, that would be a good fit too.
Not a bad fit at all.
right.
So you say that there certainly has got to make you feel good that these teams are interested in you. How aware are you of rankings and or mock drafts?
I've seen some just from a point that where some of my friends send me some and be like, hey, we going to Houston, or we going to here, we going to here, or something like that. So I've seen some through them, but I try not to look at them too much. But I'm not gonna lie, I have looked just from a standpoint of like, it's crazy seeing my name there when I see it. You know what I'm saying? So I have looked. So I try not to look too much, but I've seen, anywhere from like it's been saying, like, I've seen first, I've seen second, I've seen third, I've seen all that. So it's just really crazy seeing it though still. Like,
Is it done after yesterday? Was that the last deal? The pro day is the last deal in terms of evals from professional teams?
I guess for like group wise, yes, but then it's like still you have some workouts, Zooms, all that stuff starts to pick up now at this time between now and draft. So I guess that was the last like official thing, but you will have some more. I will have some more like Zooms and workouts and stuff like that. But yeah. So that
Do you go back to Frisco?
It just depends. So I'm probably gonna be back and forth a little bit, staying some here, staying some in Frisco, just to make sure that and then I make. Because, I got some receiver coaches that I train with, too. So I could kind of be a little bit of everywhere, just because now it's just not like we don't have to focus on the combine where like I had to be at a place where I had to focus on the 40, the L drill, all that stuff. So now I can kind of be on – I can kind of control where I want to go based off – because now we're getting ready for more like just football stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What do your parents say about all this?
They're just super happy. They're super happy, and they just really want the best for me. So they're kind of.
Do you think they would they have, if I would have asked them yesterday, if I would have told you that Calvin is going to be a high NFL draft pick, do you think they would have said, yeah, of course he is?
Look, my dad, 100%.
He would.
100%. Like,
he's your biggest believer.
Biggest believer, because like I can remember him after some of the games, and like when I'm not playing, when I'm red shirt and all of this stuff, like he's not talking bad about anybody on our team, but like he's like, I know you can be out there, you could have making the same plays if you on the field. I know you're this dangerous, you can do this. Like he's saying this in like as a freshman, so like he's not like he's in practice and stuff. So I'm like, there's a whole lot more factors to that. Like I'm sometimes not catching the ball as well, or my route tree isn't as defined yet. But like he's always been the one saying that like you deserve this, you deserve that. Once you're on the field and get your moment, you gonna show everybody what you can do. Like he's always been saying that, and like honestly at the beginning, like he was saying it, but I can't say that I really believed it. Like I wasn't like, yeah, like you 100% right. Like I'm just like, he's just being a dad.
Yeah.
But like he wasn't just saying it though, because like he's not gonna lie to me. Like if I'm not, he was my growing up football coach, flag football, basketball, track coach. So like he's not gonna lie to me if it's something that I'm not doing or I don't get it. Like he's gonna let me know. So like he's always just believed in me from that standpoint. So that gives me a ton of confidence too.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
and I said after we had done the race out here, and you came down and helped with the Preston and Grant show, I came in here the next day, and after we had talked, and I had told them, I said, look now, I said, I've been depressed, not because of the loss, not because I've lost to you in a walking race. It was, you said to me, you were like, we've been talking all that day, and you're like, look, man, you're like, this is crazy, and I haven't said anything. He's like, but when my dad would pick me up from football, we would listen to you every afternoon when I was a little kid, and I was like, oh, come on.
Chris Vernon show. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Hey,
a little kid. I'm like, I am old as hell. I am so old.
For
I'm like, no, bro, this guy's going to the NFL draft. What are you talking about when you were a little kid?
And I was like coming from basketball practice, like we're listening to you. So that's why I was like, when I first came, I was telling the press, and I said, it's gonna be crazy. I'm meeting him. Like it's crazy. Like
you old, man.
It's so wild, right? And I was like, what does your dad do? He's a cop, right?
Yes, sir. Yep. 24 years.
24 years.
Yeah.
I need to interview him.
He's
the biggest Calvin.
That would be a good interview.
He's the Calvin Austin believer, huh?
The number one believer. Yeah.
Where does he want you to go? Who is he a fan of?
Cowboys.
Let's go.
Yeah, look, I say, yeah. You can find. That's why I say you gotta do that interview. Yeah. Cowboys.
So
Let's go.
I just pulled up 2 mocks, and one has you to the Texans, one has you to the Packers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Texas. Okay.
Texans, Packers. Those are 2 ones I've seen. Have you got like a bunch of people recognizing you now? Like I know because you had the combine. People see you on TV now. Like you have people come and say, "Yo, Calvin Austin, can I get a photo?"
Yeah, I have had that some, and it's kind of it's cool, honestly. Like I'm not gonna say that like I don't like it or nothing like that. It's cool because like I said, I used to be one of those kids. Like I used to be a big Tiger, so if I see players and stuff like that, I used to be the same way. So like it's like I look back at that and be like, it's kind of cool now being that person. So
yeah, I hope we don't have to come back and look at this interview when you've got a big purple fro and tattoos. The next time he comes in, he's got this huge clock and diamond encrusted.
They like, oh, this guy acting totally different.
Be like, yeah, it's really neat for people to ask me for pictures. He's got a huge diamond encrusted clock.
Yeah, they come in with a grill on, ice time. Like, damn, Calvin,
Calvin Austin. Hey, that's what I got worried when he was like yesterday. He's like, yeah, I totally believed I was going to be in the NFL.
You said,
I'm
you
like,
done switched up on me.
come on, Calvin. Come on.
Switched up.
Man, good luck. I guess now you just got to stay in shape, right?
Stay in shape, still just make sure I'm on top of things and not just, like you said, that's the biggest thing, just stay in shape because that's after all this is over, because it's been a long process, either just the next couple weeks just kick back and then next thing you know, you're like, I'm about to go to rookie minicamp. I'm out of shape.
Can't lose the muscles.
You work
too hard to get all the. You benched 225 11 times.
Yeah, I surprised coming in when we first got the EXOS. I think I only hit it like a couple times, like 2 or 3 or something. So
11.
11. I was moving.
Strong
it,
man over here.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah, strong man.
Calvin, if I would have told you could bench 225
hey, now look, I would have said you lying on that one. I would have said, nah, don't see it
I can believe I'm in the NFL, but I ain't benching no 225.
Hey, where are you watching the draft from? You watching it from here? You watching it from?
I still haven't finalized that yet. I'm thinking I may just do something small with my family, but then again, if I do get an invite or something out there, I'll have to consider that too. So I don't know, but it's crazy that we even thinking about talking about that now, because honestly, I wouldn't have even thought that would have been an option unless I just wanted to go out there on my own and just do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just we'll see.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, green room cow, man. Green room crowd.
That would be amazing.
That'd be dope.
You never know. You never know. Congratulations on all the success. I'm so glad that this has all gone so well postseason, right? Because I know it didn't go the way you wanted to with your ankle bumped up, right? Yeah. And then you get to prove yourself, and you've made the most of it with the Senior Bowl, and then the Combine, and obviously yesterday the Pro Day, and now it's we'll be rooting for you for sure, man.
Thank you.
Don't change on us, Cal.
I won't switch up. I appreciate y'all.
Oh, all right, let's get to it.